There is a reason why I tend to describe cults in a very broad way. The definition of what a cult is very, very broad. It includes religion, a great amount of politics, a number of cultural traditions, etc., etc. Group conformity. It is culture. Not merely culture in terms of I might like this, I might like that, and some other people I might know might like that, because that's simply culture, full stop. But culture in a more strict sense, a sense of restriction, a sense of being part of a group of culture, where there is a greater sense of conformity, a greater sense of perhaps groupthink on some level. And that is the basic idea of what is a cult. It is a restrictive aspect of culture, rather than simply being a broad aspect of culture, which could be, you like Star Trek? Ooh, I like Star Trek too. Oh, you like fashion? I like fashion too. Oh, you're into this, you're into that, and as a result, you're a part of many different cults. But broadly speaking, isn't always helpful. So what do we really mean? Do we mean, oh well, we're the die-hard, fight or flight kind of, inner core of Star Wars fans? We're a serious cult. Well, no, that doesn't really help very much either, does it? That's probably a sense of obsession with some people, where they have an obsession with a particular aspect. It could be fiction like that. It could be fashion. It could be makeup. It could be a particular product, a particular fandom. A person particularly likes, a particular YouTuber. People who are obsessed with Mr. Beast. You're in a fandom. That's a kind of cult. But no one's asking you to go out there and do horrible things to other people. Okay. And there isn't that kind of conformity, that kind of almost mind slavery you can get with different ideologies. And that's the key thing. Ideology. Where does that come in? The real conformity. This is our doctrine. We have a doctrine. We have an ideology. These are the things, the dogmas, whether they're called dogmas or not, which you should conform to. That is fundamental to a cult, if we're talking about it in a serious sense as opposed to a very broad sense. So in other words, you could have a belief with a core doctrine which is still quite pleasant, quite, acceptable in everyday society. But because of its nature, the group conformity within, how it interacts with the world, we, the believers, we the informed, we the saved, the chosen, or those enlightened few, whatever the case, that is a bit more concerning. That is a cult, when I might say something's a cult. I'm not talking about people who are interested in a particular fandom, a particular individual, people who love Kim Kardashian. I don't think they're quite as bad as an actual cult. In a broad sense, yes. In a specific sense, no. Okay, beyond that, when people talk about the word cult, typically what they talk about is something which is what? Dangerous. So, dangerous cults, that's another definition altogether, although related to, closely related. What is a dangerous cult? Well, it's not merely group conformity, it's about what they're conforming to and how far they might go because of what they believe, what their ideology is, how far they're willing to follow that ideology, and to what extreme. That is the very nature of a dangerous or potentially dangerous cult, basically the same thing. A potentially dangerous cult is a dangerous cult which has not proven itself to be dangerous yet. That means until you discover the bodies buried underneath the under the patio, or whatever the case may be, or buried in the basement, until you find them, they're just simply a safe cult. No, they're a potentially dangerous organisation because of their very nature. And they prove their danger, they prove their malicious potential when they actually act upon their ideas and go to the extreme. And that's why people perhaps might choose to burn some churches down. I wouldn't advocate burning stuff down, but I can understand why people perhaps would. So you can understand why people look at these things and they go, well, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. This act, okay, they haven't gone that far yet, but they're willing to, or they could do, a slight difference of opinion, an authority that says this, or divine revelation, and someone's going to go to the extreme. And that's the thing, you have the potential for danger, and those people have actually acted on that potential. There isn't a great line other than potential isn't a crime. Potentially dangerous is not a criminal offence. You're a potentially dangerous organisation with potentially dangerous beliefs. You could do something which is quite horrendous, but you have not yet. But as soon as you do, that is where the problem truly begins.